Hey everyone, this is Monica at Delighted Wildflower. I just wanted to share a piece of writing with everybody that I wrote in March 2022 during a time that I was struggling myself. And these words really benefited me, and I wanted to share them in case they could benefit anybody else also. The piece is called For Anyone Struggling. Hey, we should talk more. If the narrative in your mind hasn't been your usual bubbly, effervescent self lately, I get it. If you can relate, maybe the following words I share below might be of use to you. If you cannot relate, maybe the following words might open your eyes to a perspective beyond your own. If you want to start at the bottom of where I started, go to www.delightedwildflower.com and start at the oldest blog posts and read the newest ones last. Then return to patreon.com/delightedwildflower to read more recent posts. I have spent my entire life self-talking myself and others out of hard times. I say this with a grain of salt. I am not forgetting my amazing family and friends and mentors who have also encouraged me out of hard times too. Thank you for being you, and thank you for being real. I have learned so much from you too. I realized after trying to take care of other people during the pandemic that there was a solid reason why I have always felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. I suffered an injury that made no sense to me last year. I have been taking care of people in my community ever since 2006 when I first started working. I started working because I wanted a better private life. No, it wasn't a greedy or a materialistic thing. I just never really had anything that I felt was safe to be mine. There was usually somebody there taking away many of the things I was given and things I had worked for, whether it was a bully at school or someone at home. There seemed to be so much understanding for everyone else. It started to make me bitter, but I couldn't hate the ones around me. That was not me. I cared about them too, so I chose to feel numb instead. It just felt better to me, and I could love everyone. Everyone but me, I realized. I chose everyone else over me when I was a child because I wanted to be loved and show love. I felt myself shrinking. I didn't want to shrink. But every time I spoke up, so many told me it was just me. It led me to tolerate more than I should all my life because I didn't want to be judged. I've felt, seen, and read what people can do. And then someone added me on Facebook one day. They changed their name to All My Life I Had to Fight, and I broke down. Or I felt like I broke, but after I cried, I realized it was true. I've always felt like I had to fight, but why? And then a bit later, someone complained on our local rants and raves site that multiple students complained about a teacher making them hold their urine until they wet themselves. I watched the parents pour their hearts out over their children. I commented with a link to information on mandated reporting in Georgia, and I posted a comment asking parents to please, if their kids are telling them this is happening, to report it and let an investigation happen and find out the truth. I told them it did not matter how prominent the person is. A local man verbally attacked me in the comments. He was so undereducated on the topic that he was defending abuse publicly. I snapped back publicly. Then I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares, waking up in sweats, waking up with tears all over my face and blurry vision in the morning. I looked in the mirror and I did not recognize myself. So I washed my hands and put in my contacts. I put a towel in the shower floor, turned on the hot water, and let it get steamy. I opened my phone and turned on a Bluetooth speaker. I played the music that I used to sing in my car when I was a teenager. You know, the songs that everyone else told me were trash. But these songs were written by the people who have actually lived life outside of comfortable walls and have a story to tell. They have emotions. They put their emotion into their work, into their art. They somehow find a way to turn their pain into something beautiful and unexpected. I wanted that too. I thought to myself, if only I could help change the narrative, then I can find some purpose in this. Not purpose in my pain, but my pain gave me emotions, it gave me senses. It gave me an instinct that could help other people who may not be aware of some things that exist in this world. I realized I can help just by talking or writing. I didn't want to talk, so I know others don't want to talk about it too. I realized talking about what I'm going through is helping the others who are going through it too. So back to the shower. I picked a soap, my toothbrush and toothpaste, and my shampoo and some leave-in conditioner, and I spent about 30 minutes in the shower just taking care of myself and enjoying the music. I always enjoy the steam and the way the hot water feels on my skin. Showers help me wake my mind up a bit better on the days that I have to say, "Get the fuck out of your head." Yeah, I know that statement doesn't sound like me. It sounds more like my cousin Miriam. She passed away due to cancer when we were teenage girls. A long time ago, I wrote down, "She will always be my shining star when I forget who I am." So I step outside and look at the sky, and I usually find something that gives me hope. Those bits of something I always see, I know they come from God, because I left myself little notes to remind me, just like Miriam left little notes behind for my cousin and auntie before she died. I don't remember what I saw or who I spoke to, but all I know is that when I was a little girl, I looked up and I wrote it down. God is real and always watching. I used to write broken poetry when I was a teenager. I wrote it again when I was struggling to get pregnant. When I speak of broken poetry, to me, those are the times when I struggled the most and my thoughts came out of order. They tended to express thoughts of depression, but I would deny the depression because of stigma and bias. Remember, I have read and seen and felt what people can do. Writing helped me become more self-aware. Participating in online communities helped me become more self-aware until I was ready to participate in my own local community again that has been so cruel in some situations in the past. I truly love my community and want to see it improve in every way. And I promise you, even if you are not sitting at the same table as me, I truly want you to be able to eat too. I also promise that I appreciate my friends and family and my support system so much. Now I know more of why I wrote that broken poetry in the past. I was depressed and in denial because how dare a Christian feel depressed and not be healed by prayer in the Southern Bible Belt? I started writing broken poetry again last year when I could not move much while recovering from a stress injury. Just as I have cared for my community has also cared for me. From comfortable breakfast tamales to silly snaps and late night texts, I can think of so many times my community has reached back. I remember all the girls in school who helped me learn how to fix my makeup. I remember the young women who talked me through how to curl my hair over Facebook. I could go on. I was so lucky to have a high school dance coach who told me to FSS and who taught me a lesson about playing games. She taught me a lot about life too. I forgot what the second S stood for until this past weekend. I remember now, and I am committed to that second S. Focus, sustain, surpass. Thank you for everything, Woo. I remember the character of those who passed on their good, humane values to me, and I strive to be like them and not like the people who have ever hurt me or who have ever tried to hurt me or who looked the other way while others have been hurt. I was born for such a time as this, and I really didn't know it. I know I cannot be the only one. When I was a little wildflower, I carried a little white Precious Moments Bible, and the main point I remember from it is a verse I prayed to God all my life. Keep me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings. When my grandpa was drunk preaching to us all one day, he misquoted scripture and was flipping through Philippians. I remember taking his big leather Bible and turning the pages to 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7, and placing it back in his hands. He told me then that I was a blessed young woman, and I believed him. I still do. I just know that we can all get through anything, as long as we reach out and do it together, and as long as we show respect to each other and don't let our disappointment in humanity trick us into losing our faith in a higher power too. We are all in this life together. Some people don't get it. I hope they're reading my blog too. My hope is that our love for people and the earth around us continues to grow on throughout our future generations. Thank you. Thank you for listening.